with this Senate race, I mean, you are running for a federal office now. One of the big issues and one of the big debates, and a lot of Republican candidates are being asked about right now, given the fact that former President Donald Trump is still refusing to accept his defeat, as well as some other folks are saying that, you know, we still don't know who won that election. I want to know where are you on this as far as looking back? We've had a big audit here. Do you think that President Donald Trump was defeated by President Biden, and that President Biden is the legitimate president of the country?
Well, you know, that's a great question that you've asked, and it includes several components, and mentioned the audit, mentioned the outcome of the election. And I think that the key takeaways from this previous election is that when we have these very, very close elections, then that highlights the need for the utmost highest levels of election integrity, so that everybody can be confident in the outcome of the election. Now, Biden is in the White House right now. There's no denying that. And so what we've got to do now as conservative Republicans is do everything that we can moving forward to ensure that the next election is run very securely. There are common sense reforms that need to be enacted so that we know that every ballot that's cast was cast by a legitimate voter. Every ballot that's cast should have with it the voter ID requirement. This is a reform that is very popular among the American people. This is overwhelmingly accepted by American voters. Folks want to know that their elections are secure. These are simple reforms that we can enact that make it easy to vote and hard to cheat, so that everybody can be confident in the outcome of the election.
Yeah, and, you know, as of right now, there's been no credible evidence, at least here in Maricopa County, Arizona, of any type of widespread election fraud. But simply put, yes or no, did Joe Biden win that election legitimately?
You know, when these elections come down to razor-thin margins, and there are many ballots that are cast that require some judgment calls on whether they're going to be included or not included, and that's what causes folks to have a lack of confidence in the election. And so that's why we've got to improve the election integrity measures that we have in place, so that all voters can be confident that every vote that was counted was a legitimate ballot. And this isn't the first time that we've had a very close election, and it caused folks to have a lack of confidence in the outcome. I was an early voter, and meaning a young voter in the year 2000, when we had a race that came down to just a very small number of votes that were cast in Florida, and that led many folks to have a lack of confidence in the election. And so going forward, what we need to do is we need to put in place these reforms. When I was in the state legislature, I voted for election integrity. I voted to ban ballot harvesting. We've got to put in place some enforcement mechanisms to stop that from happening, because we did see significant anomalies occur both in the 2018 and the 2020 elections, and we've got to investigate all of those anomalies so that we can be confident that every vote that was cast by a legitimate voter. Moving forward, we've got to put in place these reforms.
Yeah, and I do want to jump in here real quick.
ID requirements for every voter that casts a ballot.
And I do want to jump in here real quick. I mean, final question. We are almost out of time, but simply, I didn't hear an answer to that. Simply, you don't want to say, you know, who won the election. I want to know, how come you're uncomfortable just saying yes or no whether Biden was the legitimate winner of that election? No,
I think that's a great question. I think I answered the question. Certainly, it's clear that Biden is in the White House right now, but when we have these razor-thin margins and there are votes that are determined on a judgment call whether to be included in the count or not, that's what causes folks to not have that confidence in the outcome. So we can put in place reforms that make it easy for folks to vote and hard for folks to cheat, so that all voters can be confident in the outcome of the election.
All right. Thank you very much. That's Justin Olson, the latest Republican candidate for the U.S. Senate seat. Great to talk to you, and we'll see you next time. But